Ahoy, crypto pirates and crypto junkies alike. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of Discourse Syndicate's Wake Up HEX, because who doesn't like Wake Up HEX? I've got with me the same motley band that joined me last time. Glad to have these cutthroats here again. How are you, gentlemen?
Hello. I'm doing great.
What's up?
Good.
I heard that there will be free sandwiches served. Are there any?
Yes.
That's the only reason I'm here.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Craft food service in the green room. So
Nice.
go get you some. Go get you some.
Wait all day just for that.
They're shit sandwiches, but hey, you're welcome to them. So, how are you gentlemen doing
There's no
today?
food, guys. There is no food. I checked.
He did. He disappeared and he's back.
Crafty food services.
Another clickbait.
Absolutely. Well, I want to give some credit to Papa B today for giving us some timestamps here for, I don't know if we can get through all of these though in the time that we have. Okay.
No need. Just if they come up, anything that tickles your fancy. I just nabbed those. It wasn't me that created them. Somebody, I don't know if it was Markable. Did you have anything to do with this? Because somebody really did a very intricate timestamping of the video.
Which video?
Okay, then no. The answer is no.
Well, let me get in here, guys. Hey, guys, first off, let me just give a shout out to everybody that's here, guys. I appreciate all you guys supporting us. Spike, always a pleasure. Balaji, Markable Thoughts, who happens to be in both places at one time. What do you know? That's awesome. We got the captain. We've got Crypto Gains Club 369. I'm not even going to say that one. We got Crypto King, the Silver Sailor. We got Kevin Foy. We got Wales Only. What's up, fam? It's good to see all you guys. Cabana, he's here. Probably. Oh, I didn't read the comments. What he's talking about. He's talking about Vince, though. But Cabana, it's good to see you here as well, my friend. It's always a pleasure when you show up, and it's always a pleasure to be invited on your show. Your show is a lot of fun on Fridays, man. So we appreciate you. Crypto Butler, it's good to see you. In the meantime, I'm going to pull up. Did you guys, anyone get the opportunity to watch Tech Tie last night?
More like
Yes.
listen. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yeah.
So that you got that my friends, all of you guys that are watching, everyone who yelled at Captain for not talking about HEX enough with Adam. Adam really wanted to talk about his product. He wanted to talk about what was going on in his world. And I don't blame him. He's got a lot going on. They're doing that's crazy undertaking to try to break away and secede from the U.S. government. So good luck on him. And then we got the chance to talk about HEX a little bit during that stream, but that's not where the conversation went organically. There's no point in forcing it, because then the next guest that we have on is Tech Tie, and the guy's like all in, like, show me how to make a wallet. Let's make this serious. Let's show me how I get into this. And so we're gonna have those ebbs and flows, guys, and this is actually a really good thing. So I just wanted to throw that out there for all of you guys that were not necessarily hating, but we're disappointed that maybe we didn't get the opportunities to discuss some of the finer points of HEX with these guests. But don't worry, guys. These opportunities, when they make sense, we're going to capitalize on them. So let me pull this up here, guys. I gotta pull up the Richard stream is in here. Let's get 31 minutes. Let's pull up your first timestamp here, Papa. And what's the first one that you gave to me? HEX changing blockchains, 3128. So let's do this real quick. Let me share this screen.
You have to manually scroll for it, though. That's the only problem.
I know. Well, I have his.
Yep, you got his you can click on.
Yes. So I'm going to click on those manually, and we're going to share some audio, obviously, and I'll bring it up here in just a second. But he's got a lot of the same. He's got a lot of the same ones.
Richard Hart, will you move to another blockchain if ETH2 doesn't go well? Well, man, I don't see any reason to wait for ETH2. So I'll cover that more after I get to some questions.
So we'll stop right there because we know that it takes him a little while. Those of us that have watched it, it takes a little while before he gets into it. So I've seen a lot of concerns in the Hex chats, you know, so especially in the dev chat, more than anywhere else. What are we going to do for a security model? Well, I think Richard's got a great point that, and he said this multiple times, but he's got a great point that we don't have to necessarily worry about that right now, because no one's attacking these blockchains anyway. And some of these proof of stake security models are proven to be just fine against attackers. So I'm curious what you guys have to think about that.
Yeah, as Richard says, that there's a lot of forks of Ethereum that are proof of stake that are incredibly robust now. The proof of work chains are the ones that have had their security problems. Is that correct, everyone?
Yeah, because there is a lot of miners and they can just attack the smaller networks.
And the miners seem to be what's causing the problems. I mean, look at ETH at the moment. Like, the miners are up in arms because they're going to be getting less fees. So, yeah, and they don't want to improve the blockchain because of that.
Exactly. And I think Tron is a fork of ETH basically, and it has delegated proof of stake and works just fine.
Yep.
I mean, the only thing that you're going to have to do is have consistent developers working on the chain. So you can't just leave it, can you? So there will need, unlike HEX, which is kind of done, nothing needs to be done to it. You are going to need like constant development on the chain, on this new ETH chain.
Absolutely. So this isn't going to be a fork one and done. This is going to be something that needs to be continually updated, and a team of devs and possibly a foundation. Now, I'm curious if he's going to go the same route. He doesn't discuss what he does legally on the back end, but I can almost assure you, being a smart businessman, that it's a blind trust, that the OA for HEX is a blind trust or a board of directors or something of that nature, with a real legal entity and structure behind it, hidden behind. There's different ways that you can, not necessarily shell companies, but holding companies. And I wouldn't be surprised if he's done that. And if we go to this new blockchain, I wouldn't be surprised to see us do something like Dash has done. So they are incorporated as a Delaware LLC, which, if anyone knows anything about Delaware LLCs, you can literally hide money, or not money, but you can hide the owners of the entity within this corporate structure and never have to divulge who the actual corporate owners are. And then they have their trust set up who is controlled by the Delaware LLC. They have the trust set up in New Zealand. So Dash has set themselves up in a way that they are almost impregnable as far as legally, if there was ever legal action taken against them. So there's no country could ever stop Dash from continuing to do what they do. So I wouldn't be surprised if he sets it up something like that, where you've got a holding company that's set up in a privatized LLC, and then a foundation itself that is controlled by that holding company in another country with another jurisdiction, but still has, I'm trying to remember, it's not reciprocity, but it's there's another term for, a legal term for it, where the United States has to, when it's a country that they have an alliance with, so to speak, that they have to recognize their laws. And so then the U.S. wouldn't be able to legally go in there and attack them either. So that would be the smart way to set it up. There's lots of legal ways to do that.
Okay.
All right, so let's go on to the next one. Hex chart only looks sideways. I like this, man. So let me, is it popped up? No, I don't have it up. Give me a second here, guys.
Is this a reaction stream to Rich's video?
Your reaction is poor.
Might be the first instance of it, right? Because it's been at penny for like, I don't know, some months now. But we had the big payday. Like, so the big payday happened on like December, or like, and then everyone got in between 30 and 100% more HEX on that day that was staked, and 90% of people were staked. And then that's not on the chart. So the 30 to 90%, the 30 to 100% more coins that people got, you don't see on the chart, but that's real money that they could sell. So it's kind of like, it's hard on the price chart, right? So in effect, when we're at 1% now after when we're at a penny after big payday, we're really in people's gains at 1.3 to 2, because that's how much extra coins they got. But that's not reflected in the chart. I'm glad we had one big payday, because you don't want more new coins with reflective, similar to a stock split, price movement to get par value.
I'm actually going to stop us right there, because I like that point. We literally had almost a doubling of coins on the big payday, and people still ended up with more coins, and we still didn't have a price. I mean, we had a price wick temporarily, but we still went after that to an all-time high on New Year's Eve to 2 cents, and it looks like we're creeping our way back up there right now as we speak, because last I checked this morning, I think we were at 1.3 cents. So
was that within 2 months? Yeah, right.
Within 2 months of the all-time high and then coming back down again. It's about 2.5 months now. So
yeah, exactly.
Isn't that great, guys? I mean, that just shows you the rope. If there had never been a big payday at all, can you imagine what the price would be right now? I bet we'd be at 3-4 cents right now. That's just my guess.
Yep. And the key takeaway is one single big payday. He's glad that there was one by design.
Yeah.
That was elegant. So I'm not going to talk about any other projects, but I'm telling you that really struck me. That really struck me. His math there,
One
like,
that
was
has
an eye opener.
big
Yeah.
Also, what
40 chances to dump the price.
What I'm taking away from this comment about just one, he's happy that there was just one, that people are hoping for some sort of airdrop, some extra HEX coins. I don't think that's gonna happen. I'm not sure how exactly technically we will move over to the new chain and what happens to the old one. Technically, maybe they will coexist for some time, so that we can treat as a quote-unquote airdrop. But yeah, I don't think that we will be rewarded, like holders of t-shirts right now will be in some way rewarded just for that, just for holding t-shirts, because we are extremely happy and lucky to be where we are right now with those t-shirts, and it's just like it will be almost too much.
I agree.
Can you go to the last timestamp, KNTX, to speak to that comment?
Yeah.
The very last one, and that's a custom one. That's not on a click. You're going to have to actually get to that moment, but something very interesting to Crafty's point. I want to hear it from Richard. This is very interesting.
Okay. In the meantime, that's why I think there will be another token. There doesn't have to be with a hyperchain. There doesn't have to be a token to run a blockchain, but there's an incentivization to it. And why not airdrop that? Let that price go to nothing, and disperse it amongst all the rest of the crypto sphere, and become more decentralized without having any effect on the HEX. There will be no dumping of HEX, no paying of fees in HEX. To me, I think that's why there's going to be a secondary. So a secondary token. Let me pull that up, because finding them manually is a little more difficult.
A token on the new chain would make sense, because you don't want to have free transactions, like Richard said, because in that case somebody would just spam it. It has to cost something, not much, but something.
Yes, agreed. Okay, so let me add this up here real quick.
Viable product, and then try and scale on external layers. And it was the absolute right thing to do. So look how well HEX is run. It's run amazingly well. And now it would be nice and awesome to move it to a better place. Better places exist. So I have an idea where I think the best place is going to be, and that's where I'd like to see it go. And if the community agrees, then the community will find value in that new place. And the on-chain other token should be valueless, as I believe it has been with other instances of coins moving from ERC20 to their own mainnet. I don't think there's an issue of tokens that have moved from ERC20 to their own mainnet and left behind a lot of value with a conflicting other old coin thing. I just haven't seen it. If you want to bring me evidence to show me that that has happened in the past, I'm happy to see it. But even in that case, as I said previously, a fork is like a divorce and everybody gets what they want.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
That's the point we should discuss.
Here's the thing, though. I think a lot of hexagons are still going to find value in the old ERC20
I
on
do too.
Ethereum.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I think hexagons are going to look at this like, because it's a socially consensus network. That's what these blockchains are. And if we all decide that the original hex on ETH still has value, well, then it's still going to have some value. So we'll see how that all works out.
Someone would have to provide liquidity, though. So, like, the OA will obviously remove what it's providing. Then it will be so easy to sell the token down to like nothing unless someone provides it.
Yeah.
So if the OA removed and then sold his coins, then he could easily just take any liquidity left, couldn't he? And then
absolutely.
Would
then it would really be on the community to provide liquidity on the old ERC20 chain.
Yeah.
Yep.
The thing is, OA can show its preference. Obviously, the preference will be towards the new chain, right? But there is no reason in fighting the old chain, right? So it will be just a matter of rebuilding the liquidity by the community. And if it happens, it happens. If not, who knows how it's going to go. But it will be...
I'll be happy if we only have one set of coins. I'll be okay with that.
If I may add one more thing, because Richard mentioned that what happened to the previous tokens, right? Moving from ERC20 token to their own chain. The only caveat, the only difference is that we are staked for 15 years. We are set in stone. Right. There is no swapping. If those coins were liquid, it would be easy to provide some sort of swapping mechanism, and those are burned. Okay, you moved over from this one to this one. Okay, your coins are here now, and they're gone from that one. It's not easy to arrange with stakes. I don't think it's possible to do it.
Maybe a solution to this would be to move the airdrop the T shares on the new chain and build a bridge that would make you like in EOS case, that would make you move when you unstake on the mainnet, you would move your coins to the new
no, that hurts OG stakers because they would have to unstake on the mainnet, pay the high fee on the mainnet. Why? It wouldn't be fair. No, the system state will be dropped on the new chain. There is no question about it.
Yeah.
The question is what happens. Will the Hex Classic, let's say, will live on and coexist or not? And I can't wait to just watch what's going to happen. It's going to be super, like the power shifts. Like imagine like someone all of a sudden becomes a whale on the old chain because he values like and keeps like just buying up everyone who's dumping. It'll be fascinating.
Well, we got to keep in mind too. He did discuss wrap stakes and being on every blockchain. He even mentioned the chain known as Vaporware ADA. When they finally do have smart contracts and it's no longer Vaporware, that's a trigger word for a lot of people. I saw some of our comments. That's a trigger word. I can't believe you guys would say that's Vaporware. Well, it hasn't done shit yet, so it is Vaporware. Sorry, but as soon as it actually has some viability and isn't an empty blockchain and has some smart contracts on top of it, he said he'd even like to see wrap stakes on top of it too. You just can't do it yet because it's Vaporware.
Guys, if I can, since KNTX, may I add, KNTX mentioned ADA, not me. I have just a question, like, what's up with all the ADA hate? Guys, I sold like vast majority of my ADA for HEX. What's up with all that hate on Twitter? Like with all the, we don't need that alienation. Like sooner or later, we will be building bridges, guys. Remember.
Yeah.
There is no.
We'll be building on top of ADA, guys. We will have wrap stakes on there. Richard kind of made that clear, so there's no point in pissing off that community. And I know saying Vaporware does piss them off, but I mean, if they can't objectively look at their own program and look at, hey, look, it is as of now, and maybe someday it'll actually have something built on top of it. And when it does, and when it's a viable blockchain that has a real use case, then I guarantee Hex will have some kind of duplication or wrap stakes or something on it. So
yeah, I think I'm not referring to you, KNTX, but maybe it's just me, but I'm noticing more and more like trolling and like almost hateful comments towards Ada, and pointing out and laughing. We are alienating, and we are possibly turning off people who might come over and, oh, what's this? Oh, they're shitting on my coin. No, fuck that. No, I'm not interested. That's a turn off.
I agree.
Yeah.
We're building bridges, guys. We're building bridges at this time. And it was Hoskinson who threw out the first so Trevon James started that fire, and then Hoskinson fanned it, and then the rest of the Hexicans jumped in. They're like, dude, you don't even have a viable product yet. So like, who are you to talk? And you couldn't win a discussion against Richard anyway. Well, if we keep those two separated and we just kept the communities, if we kept it to where it was civil between the two communities, we could build that bridge later, because there will be a time when, well, maybe, we'll see. I mean, so far it is just a promise coin that nothing's been delivered on yet. But if they ever do deliver like they say they're going to, then it would be nice. Someone got a bag of Ada, RG3 says. he must be talking about you, Fairly Crafty.
Not me, no.
Yeah, sure.
I think he was calling me out
one,
on hating on Ada in the green room.
Yeah.
No, I'm just, guys,
Someone's got
if it was some other coin, like next week, 2 weeks later, it will be some other coin which will be targeted. But Richard himself said, like, he sometimes gets triggered by bag holders in the comments, and he goes hard on the project, but he doesn't mean to, like, and he knows that by that he sometimes alienates the founders and other communities, and it's not his goal. It's not I think at least that's how I understood it, that sometimes he regrets it, that how it's being interpreted by others.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think there will be a time when his discussions will be curbed. It's just his channel, his place to be able to vent about all that. I think really what frustrates him is he spent 2 years creating a viable product that's finished, completed, done, 3 audits. It works as intended, 100% uptime. And then he gets talked down by people who have got these promise projects that haven't delivered anything yet. And I know that triggers him a little bit, and he's just yelling at the screen just to let people know, like, the guys, don't be fooled by this. And it pisses off some of the community members, but I don't think that's his intention.
Yeah, but he's being asked same dumb questions, and that it's totally understandable. But I wouldn't be able to handle it as well as he's doing that. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. Building bridges. Like, that's what is going to happen sooner or later.
Just leave Doge alone. Just saying.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, King.
What's up, King?
Hey,
King.
Hey guys, I'm glad to be back on the stream with you guys. I know it's been a few days that I've been absent from some of the live streams, but I'm still putting in the work. I thank RG3 for that fabulous interview and onboarding with TechTie, the TechTie Army. If you guys are out there listening, that was fantastic. That was I was in the D-Live, the TechTie D-Live channel, taking care of his followers and answering some of their questions while the stream was going on. So that was brilliant, fantastic.
Yeah, it was great.
Another thing is, and another shout out to KNTX too for the hard work that he does behind the scenes as well. Another thing, I was chatting with Reggie Middleton last night on Telegram, and trying to see about getting him and Richard on together. And I started chatting with Richard, and I mean, I don't know why he's he's maybe he, I don't know, he just, when it's too competitive, I guess, trying to get, two of these most powerful minds of DeFi together, it's kind of hard, it seems like. But I did do a tweet, and it's already gotten a lot of traction. So, yeah, and I see Reggie's been replying to a lot of the replies to that tweet. So if you guys out there, keep that tweet going, because even Reggie Middleton is in there replying to that tweet as well and retweeting as well. So that's what it's going to take for us to get, like I said, these are the two most powerful DeFi minds in the industry, Richard Hart and Reggie Middleton. If we could get them either on Discourse Syndicate or on Richard's channel, that's going to do fantastic things, especially with what Richard's doing with the ETH fork. So I'm pretty sure Reggie has value to add to that that mechanism. So that would be awesome to see.
Yeah, well, that'd be great. Maybe maybe when he forks the Ethereum, he can give Reggie back all the Very tokens in the fork.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh gosh, here's what I would love to see. I'd love to see Richard and Pomp, but I think Pomp would be crushed, and I think he's scared to take that challenge. I really do. I don't think because Richard's points are valid, and that he has empirical data behind them, and all of the stuff I see from Pomp on all the shows that he's doing right now is all the hype, what Bitcoin was expected to be 10 years ago and has never produced. Right. The one pivot he has made is he realizes it's no longer a currency, it's now a store of value, and that's about the only thing I think that they agree on now. So I would love to see that, but I really think Pomp is there's nothing for Pomp to gain there, because getting crushed wouldn't by the arguments wouldn't serve his purpose well. Nope.
But Lex is coming up, so that's the one, right?
That's the one I'm pushing for, is for the Lex Friedman. I would love to see that. That's the foot in the door. There's already a foot in the door with I'm just going to say that right now, guys. The Rogan producers are very, very interested and aware of Richard. I just want you guys to know that. I know that for a fact. They have been for a long time. But a Lex Friedman interview would really just swing that door wide open for us. So yeah, I know Wales only. I know. Yes, I would. Maybe it's just my own selfish desire to see that stream. That's really what it comes down to. It's not that I'm not awake. It's just my own selfish desire. I'd love to see that. Love to see these two go head to head, and I'd love to see them go head to head on a big channel like Valuetainment, or like that would bring in some views, because Valuetainment's got what, 3 million subscribers or somewhere close, 2.5 million subscribers.
KNTX, which of these other founders are doing head-to-heads? I think Richard's got to punch up, Let's just get him preaching to new and more important people that get it, and forget this whole, it was cute with him shutting Tone Vase down and shit like that when we were just, a sparkle in his eye, but now we're damn mature product, right?
Yep.
About to fork, for God's sake. It's like going to college. Come on.
Yeah. Time to leave CryptoPunk.
So
as far as
all of you guys, that's right. So if all of you guys have seen if you go to my Twitter page, I've got it pinned to the top where Valuetainment threw a shout out. I'm sure it was a super chat. Threw a shout out to HEX being the highest appreciating crypto of 2020, and I had Super HEX Win, who does all the wonderful TikToks and has a bigger following there than all of us YouTube streamers combined. Anyway, he clipped that out for me, and I posted it, and I would love for you guys to revisit that and retweet and comment and like the original, and see if we can get that in front of Valuetainment, because I've put out a press packet that we've put together. We put together a press team about 9 months ago, and I've taken that press, and I've actually submitted it twice, the press packet, to Valuetainment. We need to do an updated one now that we are, not in the launch phase any longer, but I've sent it directly to their show admin, and then I've sent it to Mario, his right-hand guy. So I've been watching Valuetainment since 2016, somewhere in there, and I would love to get some exposure on Valuetainment. I think in some ways the Lex Friedman would be bigger, I think, than Valuetainment, just because it gets us in the door with Joe Rogan. But Valuetainment has a much bigger following than Lex Friedman does, and it's a bunch of like-minded people to the Hex community, the Hexican Nation, because we've got a lot of movers and shakers and proactive people and business entrepreneurs and things of that nature, and that's really what the Valuetainment channel is aimed at. And so I think that would get more direct mass adoption than Lex Friedman. But like I said, getting on Joe Rogan would probably take us to the moon. So,
and by the way, punching up, I had an idea and I did it on LinkedIn. Bellion Brand has this short video on his channel where basically Richard calls out Grayscale. So I went to
I've got it already pulled up. I've got the timestamp for the Grayscale, yeah.
And just pasted the video, the timestamp, and like, maybe this is a good idea.
Yeah. Well, here, on that note, let's do that right now because I've already got that pulled up. So
calls with developers and calls with lawyers. So many lawyers. So remember I was telling you about launching something to compete with Grayscale. And so I have this policy of never giving you forward-looking price statements and never giving you expectation of profit from the work of others. So I'm really going to try and continue to maintain that stance because I think it's a unique and clean way to do things.
Freeze?
So how can I phrase this?
What's up? Did you have something to say, King?
Oh, I thought you were bringing up a clip. But I was just going to finish what I was saying before my computer froze again.
King, there's a clip on now, man.
Yeah, it was playing right now.
And embarrassment.
Where were we?
Boy, it sure really would be cool if there was a way to buy HEX at your brokerage the same way that you can buy Bitcoin through various OTC listed vehicles. So basically, to list on OTC, you have to have a year of financial statements audited. To have a year of financial statements, you have to be a year old. You also have to have, I'm not going to give you specific numbers because I consider it competitive intelligence, but you have to have a certain number of investors, and those investors have to add up to a certain number of millions of dollars to have enough free tradable shares for the OTC people to list you. And it helps if what they're listing is a form they're used to, so that they just don't say, no, we don't feel like figuring it out. They feel like, yes, and we've already seen this before, so cool. So it sure would be awesome if there was a way to buy HEX on OTC or buy HEX as an accredited investor. See, okay, you want to list them.
All right, so I'm gonna stop right there for now because he's really good at explaining new tangents too, and then it'll be 20 minutes before we get back to the point that he was originally making. But he's just so detail oriented. He can speak so intelligibly to it. So one thing I want to say to that is, first off, I think it would be even better if we did a 1 year history. Let me let King back on here. It would be even better if it was a 1 year history from big payday, because then you don't have that mass inflation event that you have to account for when you're filing this. And then number two, going back to the point that he had said in the first timestamp that we went and looked at, was that it's a good thing we don't have multiple big paydays like other products or projects out there that are trying to do this whole 5 big payday nonsense. And I think they're going to crush themselves. And they think it's a good idea because they think it's a pumpamental, but all it is an opportunity for more people to dump the price. So I think HEX did it right with the event that they did. But I just wanted to throw that out there. If we did a 1 year history from November 19th from the big payday, then I think that would even look better on paper than it would from the first 1 year to the big payday.
Yeah.
But a Grayscale trust would be huge, or something like it.
But for it to look better, we would have to pump even harder this year, right? KNTX.
Not necessarily. You only have to do better than Bitcoin. to show a better return. And then you've got compounding interest on top of that. Well, not compounding, but it appears to be. It appears to be compounding. Now, it appears to be compared to the new investors that come in later, but it is an actual simple interest. It's just that it's a really neat ratcheting mechanism that they use to create that. But what's neat about that is if we go to 8 cents this year, we can show that we've done a 10x, which is better than the 8x that we've seen from Bitcoin over the last year. And then you've got trustless interest paid on top of that. Well, it starts to look a lot better than Bitcoin at that point in time. And I don't know if you guys ever caught Funding Jim's interview with Give Me Liberty, but Liberty had a great point. He said, you just have to have a track record. The legacy finance isn't going to jump in on an ICO or a launch phase coin. They want a track record. They want to see something that they can hold up against what their returns are going to be. So
there is still time to buy in, guys. Okay.
I get that question all the time, right?
Yep.
I said to a buddy of mine, I said, a few months ago when you bought in, can you talk to, this other friend of mine, because he doesn't believe that there's meat still left on the bone. He's like, oh my gosh, it's the easiest thing to say. Look at me. I only got in like 3 months ago, and I've got this great staking ladder, and I really believe in it, and I just want to get more. Yes, but I have a great position. So
yeah,
it's great.
I agree. I just want to put this up here again. This is why Pomp won't do an interview with Richard because this gets put in the press packet and Pomp gets shown to know nothing compared to Richard, and Richard will be the new guest on all these shows. So I think so. I mean, obviously he's still going to have to overcome the narrative of Bitcoin being the king, and it is for now. It is for now. And, everything has its day in the sun, and I just can't wait to see if we get some kind of trust, like a Grayscale trust, that we are put in, that we can show and they're public about their holdings. Oh man, the sky's the limit, dude. That $1 that people aspire to so highly, I think would be so easy to
$57. No.
$57. Yeah.
The 2 million X from the bottom.
That's right. That's right. Well, we saw.
Why are you dreaming so small?
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter is done dreaming about buying a country. He wants to buy the whole Europe.
Continent now.
And maybe a new TV.
No,
never a new TV.
That's a relic. That's a relic.
The holy relic. It's going to be in the Church of St. Peter.
I love this. I love this.
St. Peter.
I think you guys are looking too small. I love you guys. You're true Hexicans. I know you are. But I'm with Pep. Big Pep thinks that conservatively it'll get to 10 cents this year, and I think that's possible. And Hornet says still won't get to $1. I think you are too limited by the previous way of looking at crypto before massive money printing. So I don't think you I don't think you understand just how big I think you're still looking at that market cap and thinking it dictates the price, where I don't believe that to be the case at all.
Don't forget we are doing the beer stuff. Like,
yeah.
With my friends who recently got in HEX, and he mentioned market cap when I mentioned we're gonna see $1, just a matter of time. And he was like, but what about the market cap? It would be so huge. I'm like, dude, it's just a fake mental barrier we are some of us still dealing with. It's just, Richard said it many times, vanity metric, and it's gonna go up, it's gonna blow up, and people just don't see how high everything will go.
Wait a minute, you lost me there. You have friends?
Papa B's jealous. He thought he was your only friend.
Don't
I've got one less now.
Oh, At least he's honest. Thank you, Lamone. At least you're honest. Yes, my 6 cent prediction is totally based on the market cap, and that's fine. That's fine. I just don't think. I think that people are too limited by that. I never thought Apple would be a $1 trillion company. Apple's still worth more than Bitcoin. One company. So being limited by this market cap idea, I think is of the old guard, and it's the old way of thinking in crypto. And I think things are changing, especially when mass adoption finally happens. Just wait, guys. Stocks are going to be a thing of the past. Everyone's going to be tokenizing and that's where their securities are going to be held as on a token. Just wait, guys.
What's the market cap of houses in the world? Like, it's absurd number.
It's like quadrillions, which is an unfathomable number when you look at how many zeros are behind a quadrillion. It's unfathomable. So, yeah, the real estate itself. I mean, you take one large city in America, and the valuation of real estate there is in the trillions of market cap. So, and that's one city. How many big cities are there around the world? So, anyway. Infinite. I agree with Whales Only. It can literally go to infinity, especially if they keep printing money the way that we've been doing. So
yeah,
you can't print more land. I agree with you, Hornet. You cannot print more land. But China's doing a pretty good job of making fake islands. So
you can print that in that virtual game on EOS.
Yeah, that's right.
And therefore, that virtual game is better than real life.
There, you got it.
I like this. 10 cents by end of 2021. Thanks, Archie. I appreciate you agreeing with me and Big Pep.
that would bring a few smiles to our faces. Just a couple.
That would make it tighten into my pants.
So I'm going to make an announcement here in my real businesses, in my real world businesses. Not this fun hobby we do called streaming. I am replacing myself within the agencies, and I am hiring. We just hired 2 people yesterday, and we are looking to hire potentially another 2 people, buying our building and expanding our building. And then hopefully that frees me up with a little more time to not drop the ball. I appreciate Crypto King's kind words about my hard work, but I've literally been dropping the ball. I have to admit it, guys. I'm not going to try to toot my own horn when I've screwed up, but there's a few interviews that we haven't booked yet that we probably could have if I was able to dedicate more time to it. And it's just been trying to replace myself in the agency has been very, very difficult thing to do, and not cut our nose off despite our face, because we still have costs of living every month that we still got to cover. But if we can get this going where I think it's going in my real world businesses, I'll have a lot more time to dedicate to this, and then maybe I can hold true to King's statement. So thanks for the kind words, King, but I've been dropping the ball, man.
Hey, KNTX, we appreciate
your KNTX incoming.
We definitely love you, and we do hope that your balls do drop.
Hey, I appreciate that. That'd be really great. Well, I'm about to get them snipped next month, so I am no longer going to be able to have kids here soon. So.
Oh, that's too bad. We were long on KNTX testing.
Oh boy, he's asking for some memes, guys.
Getting a snip next month, guys.
Are you gonna live stream it? Can you live stream it? That'd be fun.
Hey, that's not a bad idea. I wonder if they could just cover up the junk so that we don't get in trouble with YouTube, you know? So
it's already kind of pixelated, so it's okay.
I love this. He says, the agency, he says, where are you really, KNTX? Well, I wish it was something cool like a government agency, like a very special agent Kenny or something. I don't know, KNTX or something, but that's not the case. It's just boring old insurance, man, in the legacy finance market. So
you bastards, you gelded Kenny.
That's right. Thoughts and prayers for your balls, Brazil, as you said. Oh, that's great. Oh, hey, this is a great idea. Wonder if they can stitch pattern hex into the set. Oh man, I knew this was coming. I love you guys. I love it.
Why would you say something like this on the internet? Like, It's your fault.
It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't bother me. That's so RG3 does not want that broadcasted. He thinks it's a horrible idea.
I feel like eating spaghetti with a knife and fork right now.
Cryptomatic. That's exactly what this show is for.
Yeah, that's right.
Every show takes a wrong turn. That's the
Yeah.
reason why people watch.
This will have to. I have 4 kids, QC Organics, so they will have to be the ones to populate Hexarico. So Hexaco Rico.
Guys, I'm a little bit lost here. In reference to which timestamp that whole thing is?
Oh, the snip. It's
Grayscale.
It's timestamp minute 41:20 with Michael Saylor front running his company buying BTC. Yeah, that's what the reference to it was. So
Snippity snip.
so much for the quality stream. Got a vasectomy because I didn't want any kids. When I get home, they were still there.
That's funny.
Refund.
Oh, that is great.
Do they sell retroactive birth control? Because I've got 2 of those.
Retroactive. He's Agent Smith. He knows the Oracle. That's this very special agent that I am. Yes. Agent Anderson. Or Agent Smith. Yes. Mr. Anderson. So here's one I did want to talk about. I'd really like to show this one. So
I dream of a better future where you can buy HEX
KNTX
at the place where you buy your stocks, where you can trade HEX without ever having to buy ETH, without ever having to pay high fees, where you can end your stakes without ever having to buy high fees, where you can on-ramp without ever having to buy high fees. And you know what? I don't have to bleed brand awareness to these other projects, which have never been nice to us. Vitalik has never said a nice thing about HEX. To the best of my knowledge, Vitalik has never said a nice thing about me, while I have shielded the living fuck out of his bags. So Vitalik has a bag of 330,000 ETH. It's publicly viewable address. I have shielded the fuck out of MetaMask. I have shielded the fuck out of Vitalik's bags. I have shielded the fuck out of safety. I have shielded the fuck out of getting people's private keys into their own hands. I manually invented something which got people to take control of their own private keys by airdropping people that only had control of their own private keys. Or not really an airdrop, but they minted their own HEX because they were able to mint their own HEX because they had their own private keys. If you're a Bitcoin holder, I've warned people against scams. I have warned people about rug pulls. I've done absolutely everything you can do to be a wonderful citizen. I give away free self-help books. I promote the Sens Foundation, the same foundation that he promotes. And I obviously am doing an okay job because Lex Friedman just invited me. I don't remember, like, he invited me to come speak with him in person. And then I got to decide whether I want to risk it in COVID.
all right, I think that's a good place to put that. But that's Richard's vision for HEX and the community. And he does. He has been the giving tree of crypto. He's given so much free information away. How to have better relationships, how to give a better sorry, how to get rich the same way that he did. And then he gets attacked for being a scammer. The people who are throwing those accusations around, it's just not congruent with the information that's available out there. So I too would like to see HEX be more massively adopted and be able to buy it where you can buy stocks. So I think what he's alluding to there is like Robinhood, where you can buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge, and you can also you can not only buy stocks, but you can also leverage yourself into oblivion like so many people did with GameStop, thanks to Robinhood. So,
but what about the on Robinhood? You can't just take your coins off of Robinhood, right? You never get them.
I've never tried to take them off, so I have no clue. I have no idea whether you can or can't.
Yeah,
I think it's even better than Robinhood that he's thinking of.
Okay.
Think about how stupid that is, that you can only buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then Doge.
And Doge. I know.
Isn't that everything, Markable?
Litecoin maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Litecoin. I'm missing Litecoin, man.
So I'm gonna be probably pissing off the wife today, not on purpose, but I know I'm gonna fall behind on my work a little bit today. I'm going on Adam Kokesh's show today with CJ in about an hour. So So
Cool.
I will be going on. RG was supposed to go. He had some. He has some big industry stuff he had to tackle. There's a lot of opportunity in his industry right now, so he's meeting with the Bobs, and so he may not be able to make it. And then I invited Coffee as well, because we all know Coffee is a very astute speaker.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, I think he might also have meetings that he's going to be in. So it may just be me, but I'm going to go ahead and throw the link out to those guys in case they're able to make it. But I'm excited to go on Rogue Media and talk with those. And Adam Kokesh is the man versus Adam versus the man show. So I'm excited, guys. So in about an hour from now, that show will be going on. Just wanted to put you on there, or put you guys in the know.
Nice.
One thing, OTC trades. Yesterday, Markable and like on the stream with Silver the Antidote, Markable was also there. They were talking about this that there is a smart contract for OTC trades. I didn't know. Like that's maybe a useful thing for the future.
I don't know if it's already there or if it's coming.
So
There
there's
is an OTC.
there's a HEX OTC that is a smart contract that you can use, where you can set with no slippage how much you want to sell each unit of HEX in a dominated or a denominated in Ethereum. So that does exist. I think it's hexotc.com or something like that. Be careful, guys. Anything you attach your wallet to, make sure you do your own research. Make sure that you're not getting scammed by someone who made a mock site up. But there is, and I have looked at it and I played around with it a little bit. There is a HEX OTC trade desk, and it is a smart contract with a user experience front end, a UI front end, that you can set with no slippage how much you want to sell each one of your HEX for. And if you want to sell one for less than the other, then you have to set a separate order for it, and then someone can buy into that if they want. Now, right now, the sell orders that are set right now are ridiculous. they're like, there's a couple that are 20-30 cents, and there's a couple I saw that were like over $1 for their HEX. So
reasonable.
yeah, reasonable, right? Yeah, right. So anyway, yeah, just so you guys know, there is something already out there. I don't know if there's going to be something more mainstream that comes after the fact, but
These are Genesis shares, $2.
that's
Straight
right.
from AA.
Yeah,
Smells great.
that's right.
Not staked even once.
Virgin unstaked Hex.
Virgin coin.
so I like his point. See, now that is what bringing guests on DS, to have shows like what KNTX is going to be on. Boom. So yeah, we did get invited on Adam's show because of his showing on our show. So we're excited to continue the discussion, and maybe we'll get to talk a little bit more about HEX and how it fits in his new society known as Gardania that he wants to create, his new
Maybe a little bit
breakaway
about.
from the state of Arizona.
You should talk only HEX. Come on.
don't even listen to them. Just come on and shill the shit out of HEX.
Take no questions.
I just want you to know, Lamone, I never messed with QuickSwap. I mean, I poked around in the UI front end, but I never provided liquidity and try to do this liquidity mining. I wanted to stay in my lane. This is there's one other Hexican I heard out there say that I just wanted to stay in my lane and I didn't mess with that. And the future value of HEX is too great to mess with, possibly losing some of that HEX and that value. So while I poked around with it, I looked at it, but I did not follow through with it, because first off, I didn't have the time to play with it and mess with it to the degree that I felt confident that I was doing it right. And second of all, I was just worried that exactly what happened. QuickSwap took a 50% cut, and those who had to sell their HEX to buy a QuickSwap to provide liquidity lost on that deal. So I feel bad for those guys.
Motley and Coffee are talking about this on their stream.
Yeah, I did the Knights of the Crypto Roundtable. Exactly. They did discuss this. Yep.
And how they are not not okay with it, basically. How they're
Yes, we
saying.
You had to think about
we are
that for a
59
second to
minutes
get
in.
okay with it.
Huddle
Okay.
Dog is about to hop on for 1 minute to say hi.
What? Who is?
Who? Huh?
I mean, we're 59 minutes in. Huddle
Oh.
Dog is about to hop on.
Yeah,
for
where's
a second.
Huddle Dog?
Is it still daylight savings time?
Yeah, right. Send the link to the guy.
It should be just a one-day event, right?
I wasn't gonna touch on this. I wasn't gonna touch on this any longer, but that's pretty clever, King. Yeah. Hopefully they got the right thing in my chart, right? So hopefully the doctor knows what procedure he's actually performing. So
Strange things have happened.
We had in my country we had the case where a guy got his not the wrong, where they operated the wrong knee.
oh,
And,
you're kidding me.
Oh,
Yeah, he was pretty pissed.
Yeah.
but he can't
Yeah,
run
don't let
after
it-
him, can he?
Yeah. That's right.
Don't let him snip the wrong thing, man.
Yeah. If you're willing to eat the fees, Lamone, I don't think it's a bad deal to do either HEX ETH pair or HEX USDC pair. I would still like to see, in the meantime, until we get forked. That sounds so bad. But in the meantime, until Ethereum is forked for HEX's purposes, I would like to see a bigger HEX USDC pair on QuickSwap. That's what I'd like to see for now. So.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I think the 1 hour time is a good time to end this at this point. Thank you so much, Papa B, for providing some timestamps and us having some things to talk about, because I think that stream is just gold. We could dissect it probably for the next 3 weeks and still not touch everything that there is that can be derived value from in that stream. So we'll probably resume this next Tuesday and hit some of these points that we didn't get to hit, and we'll see if any new worthy talk comes out of HEX in the meantime, any new news that we can divulge on that as well. And in the meantime, I'm going to try to go back to work and try not to screw off some of these interviews. So gonna try to get some more of these people on. Go ahead, Crafty.
Before we go, for the news of the day, could we do like a thumbnail for HEX clips or something with everybody?
It's clips.
All right, there we go. Screenshot that one there, Markable, and now you've got a thumbnail for the next HEX clips. So, all right, hey guys, no, Crypto King, we're not discussing that. And on that note, we are out of here, guys. You guys have a good one.
Later.